Admiral Korvac, watching from his flagship, felt his heart sink. The dreadnought was gone, and so was his hope of conquering Earth. "Retreat!" he ordered, desperation in his voice. "We need to regroup!" The remaining Imperial ships turned, trying to escape the onslaught of human fighters. But it was too late. The human fleet, filled with newfound courage and strength, pursued them relentlessly, refusing to let them escape. Alex felt a wave of pride wash over him as he watched the enemy fleet scatter. Humanity had stood up against the Galactic Empire, and they had won. "We did it!" he shouted, turning to his crew. "We actually did it!" The crew erupted in cheers, hugging each other in celebration. They had fought against overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. This was a moment they would never forget. As the battle calmed, the crew of the SS Resolute took stock of the situation. They had suffered some damage, but their ship was still operational. They were battered but not broken. Mia checked the systems. "Shields are down, but engines are still good. We can hold our position for now." Alex looked out at the stars, a sense of determination filling him. "We need to send a message to Earth. They must know what we've accomplished here. We're not just defending ourselves, we're leading the charge for freedom across the galaxy." Using the ship's communication systems, they sent out a broadcast to all human ships and Earth. "This is Captain Alex Rivers of the SS Resolute. We have defeated the Galactic Empire's flagship. This victory is just the beginning. We are stronger together, and we will fight for our freedom." The message spread like wildfire. Human ships across the galaxy received the news, and a wave of hope surged among them. They had finally struck back against their oppressors. As they continued to regroup, Alex reflected on the battle. They had not only defended Earth, they had ignited a spark of rebellion in countless others. The Empire had underestimated humanity, and now they were learning a powerful lesson: humans would not be easily crushed. In the days that followed, Alex and his crew became heroes. They met with other human factions, sharing strategies and forming alliances. The fight for freedom had begun, and humanity was ready to stand united against the Empire. With the Galactic Empire on the run, a new era for humanity dawned. No longer would they be seen as weak. They had proven themselves as fierce warriors, willing to fight for their homes and their futures. The galaxy would know the name of the SS Resolute and its brave crew. As they ventured forth into the stars, Alex felt a sense of purpose. They were no longer just defending Earth, they were becoming champions of freedom, a beacon of hope for all those oppressed by tyranny. Together, they would forge a new path in the galaxy, one where humans could stand tall and proud. The fight was far from over, but humanity had taken the first step. And with every battle they faced, they would continue to turn the tide, declaring to the universe that they would not be defeated. They were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for freedom and peace. On a bright morning on Earth, the sun rose over the bustling city of New Haven. People moved about their daily routines, unaware of the shadow that loomed over their world. Children laughed as they played in the park, and workers hurried to their jobs, sipping coffee and chatting about their plans for the weekend. Everything seemed normal, but deep in the galaxy, a storm was brewing. Captain Alex Rivers, a skilled but underappreciated pilot, stood on the deck of his small ship, the SS Resolute. It was an old vessel with scratches on its metal surface and faded paint. Many in the space fleet saw it as a relic of a bygone era, but to Alex, it was home. He had spent countless hours repairing and upgrading it, pouring his heart into making it the best ship it could be. Another day, another cargo run, Alex said to himself, trying to shake off the feeling that something was not right. He checked his equipment, ensuring everything was in order for his mission. The SS Resolute was ready, and so was he. Little did he know that this day would change everything. As he powered up the ship's engines, his comms system beeped. It was a message from the Earth Defense Command. His heart raced as he read the urgent warning: the Galactic Empire is mobilizing its mightiest fleet. They plan to crush any resistance, including Earth. The message sent chills down his spine. The Empire had always been a distant threat, a tale told in hushed tones among pilots and civilians. But now it was real and dangerously close. Alex's mind raced. The Galactic Empire was known for its immense power and advanced technology. Their warships were massive and terrifying, equipped with weapons that could destroy entire planets. He had heard stories of their brutal conquests, how they left planets in ruins, and now they were coming for Earth. He felt a surge of anger and fear. How could they think humans were weak? He gathered his team, a small group of brave pilots and engineers. They all met in the ship's cramped lounge. The tension in the room was palpable as Alex shared the message. "We can't let them think they can just walk all over us," he said, his voice steady but full of determination. "We need to show them what humans are made of." The crew exchanged glances, a mix of fear and excitement swirling among them. They were just a handful of pilots against an entire fleet, but there was something in the air, something that ignited a fire in their hearts. They were ready to fight for their home. "We might be small, but we have something they don't," Alex continued, pacing the room. "We have heart, we have grit, and we have each other. We can outsmart them if we work together." One of the engineers, a young woman named Mia, nodded eagerly. "I've been working on a few upgrades for the Resolute. If we can use the ship's agility and our knowledge of the area, we might have a chance." With a plan forming, the team worked tirelessly to prepare. They repaired old weapons, checked the ship's systems, and plotted routes through space that could give them an edge. Hours passed quickly, filled with a mix of hope and anxiety. As night fell, Alex stood on the deck of the SS Resolute, staring up at the stars. Each one seemed to twinkle with possibility. He thought of his family, his friends, and the life he loved on Earth. He could not let the Empire take it all away. With determination in his heart, Alex turned back to the ship. "We will fight! We will show them that humans are not to be underestimated." He felt a renewed sense of purpose. The SS Resolute was not just a ship, it was a symbol of hope for all of humanity. And so, as the night deepened, a storm of change was brewing, setting the stage for a battle that would echo through the galaxy. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, and one small ship was ready to stand against the might of the Galactic Empire. Far out in the cold depths of space, the Galactic Empire's fleet gathered like a storm. Massive warships, each the size of cities, moved in perfect formation. Their sleek, dark hulls glinted under distant stars, and their engines roared with a power that could shake entire planets. At the head of the fleet was the Imperial flagship, a colossal ship bristling with weapons, commanded by one of the Empire's most feared leaders, Admiral Korvac. Admiral Korvac was known for his ruthlessness. He had led countless invasions, leaving planets in ruin and populations in fear. Today, his eyes were fixed on his newest target, Earth. His lips curled into a cold smile as the fleet approached its destination. "Prepare for battle," he ordered, his voice echoing across the command deck. "We will crush these humans like insects." As the Empire's fleet loomed closer to Earth, Alex Rivers and his crew were deep in preparation aboard the SS Resolute. They had been monitoring the fleet's movements through their scanners, and now the time had come. The warning lights flashed red, filling the ship with an eerie glow. "They're here," Mia said, staring at the screen that showed the massive fleet slowly approaching. The size of the enemy fleet was overwhelming. Dozens of warships, each armed with weapons far more advanced than anything Earth had. But Alex and his crew had no time to feel fear. They had to act. "All right, everyone," Alex said, standing in the cockpit. "This is it. We may be outnumbered, but we're not outsmarted. Stick to the plan, stay sharp, and we'll give them a fight they'll never forget." The SS Resolute shot out from its base, its engines humming with energy as it sped into space. The plan was simple: hit hard and fast, using the ship's speed to dodge and confuse the enemy. They couldn't afford a long battle. One hit from the Empire's warships could destroy them. But if they could disrupt the fleet's formation, they might just survive. As they approached the fleet, the massive warships seemed to fill the sky, blocking out the stars. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, but he kept his focus. "Ready missiles," he commanded. Mia and the other crew members quickly loaded the ship's small supply of missiles, knowing they had to make every shot count. Then, without warning, the Empire's flagship fired. A beam of energy shot across space, missing the SS Resolute by mere meters. Alex jerked the controls, sending the ship into a wild dive to avoid the next shot. "Return fire!" Alex shouted. The SS Resolute launched its missiles, streaking toward one of the smaller enemy ships. The explosion lit up the dark space, and for a brief moment, the crew felt a surge of hope. But the enemy was quick to respond. The Empire's warships moved with terrifying precision, firing at the small human ship with everything they had. Laser blasts, missiles, and energy beams filled the sky, turning the battle into a chaotic storm. "Keep moving!" Alex yelled, pushing the ship to its limits. The SS Resolute weaved through the deadly fire, barely avoiding destruction. The crew worked together flawlessly, each one focused on survival. But the enemy was relentless. The sheer size and power of the fleet seemed impossible to overcome. One hit, and it could all be over. "Don't give up!" Alex shouted. "We've come too far to stop now." Despite the overwhelming odds, the SS Resolute continued its daring maneuvers. They struck back at every opportunity, launching missiles and firing back with everything they had. For every ship they took down, another seemed to appear, but Alex and his crew refused to back down. As the battle raged on, it became clear this was only the beginning. The real fight was yet to come, and the future of Earth rested in the hands of one small ship and its brave crew. The calmness of space shattered as the Galactic Empire's fleet approached Earth. Massive warships surrounded the planet, blocking out the stars with their immense size. On board the SS Resolute, Captain Alex Rivers felt a mix of fear and determination. His heart raced as he gathered his crew in the small cockpit, each face reflecting the tension of the moment. "We can't back down now," Alex said, his voice steady but firm. "They think we are weak, but we will show them what we're made of." Mia, the ship's engineer, nodded eagerly. "I've made some adjustments to our weapons. We might be outnumbered, but we have speed on our side. Let's use it to our advantage." The crew members exchanged glances, their spirits lifting. The reality of their situation was daunting. They were just a small ship against a fleet of terrifying warships, but they had something powerful, their unity and courage. As the SS Resolute powered up its engines, Alex felt the weight of his responsibility. He took a deep breath, focusing on the task at hand. "Let's show them how humans fight," he declared. With a sudden surge of energy, the SS Resolute shot forward, leaving a trail of light behind. They darted toward the nearest Imperial ship, a colossal cruiser named the Dreadnought. Its guns turned toward them, and the crew braced for impact. "Hold tight!" Alex shouted, maneuvering the ship skillfully. The SS Resolute swerved and dipped, narrowly avoiding a barrage of laser fire. The ship shook as enemy blasts whizzed by, but they were fast and agile, darting around the larger vessel. "Return fire!" Alex commanded, his hands gripping the controls tightly. Mia activated the ship's weapons, sending a volley of shots toward the Dreadnought. The lasers hit their mark, causing sparks to fly and explosions to ripple across the enemy ship's surface. Cheers erupted from the crew as they witnessed the damage they inflicted. For the first time, it felt like they had a chance. But the Empire was relentless. The Dreadnought fired back, striking the SS Resolute with a powerful blow that rattled the ship. "Damage report!" Alex shouted as alarms blared throughout the cockpit. "Shields are down to 50%, Mia replied, her fingers flying over the controls as she worked to stabilize their defenses. "Keep moving," Alex urged, weaving through the chaos of the battle. The stars around them became a blur as they dodged enemy fire, relying on their quick reflexes and teamwork. The battle raged on, and Alex felt the adrenaline surge through him. The small ship was surrounded by enemy vessels, but the crew refused to give up. They fought bravely, firing at the larger ships while avoiding their counterattacks. Suddenly, they saw a fleet of smaller human ships joining the fight, inspired by Alex's bravery. The sight filled them with hope. These were not just cargo pilots, they were fighters willing to defend their home. Together, they formed a small but determined squadron, attacking the Imperial fleet from all angles. "We're not alone!" Mia shouted, excitement lacing her voice. "Look at them go!" With newfound strength, the SS Resolute joined the fray, darting between enemy ships and launching surprise attacks. The crew worked as one, each member focused on their role. They communicated quickly, coordinating their moves to maximize their impact. As the battle raged, Admiral Korvac watched in disbelief from his flagship. "How can these humans fight so fiercely?" he growled, anger rising within him. He ordered more ships to engage, but the humans were too quick, slipping through the Imperial defenses with remarkable skill. "Get me those ships!" he shouted, frustration boiling over. "I want them destroyed!" But Alex and his crew had ignited a fire in the hearts of the human pilots. They fought with everything they had, refusing to back down. The tide of battle was turning, and with every explosion and burst of fire, they proved that humanity was not as weak as the Empire believed. As the fight continued, hope surged among the human pilots. Together, they were creating a story of resistance and courage that would echo throughout the galaxy. Alex felt a sense of purpose, knowing that they were not just fighting for themselves, but for all of Earth. The battle had only just begun, and they were ready to take on whatever came next. The battle raged on in the vastness of space. The SS Resolute danced among the larger Imperial warships, its crew moving like a well-oiled machine. Captain Alex Rivers felt a surge of energy as they dodged enemy fire and launched counterattacks. The sight of more human ships joining their ranks gave him hope. Together they were creating a united front against the Galactic Empire. "Keep the pressure on!" Alex shouted, his eyes fixed on the displays showing the battle's progress. The enemy ships were starting to show signs of confusion, struggling to keep up with the agile human fighters. Mia, focused on the controls, replied, "We're making a difference. They're breaking formation!" As the crew of the SS Resolute pushed forward, Alex felt a renewed sense of determination. They had only a small window of opportunity. If they could keep the pressure on, they might just be able to turn the tide of battle in their favor. In the cockpit, alarms blared as a warning of incoming fire erupted. "Incoming missiles!" Mia yelled, her fingers dancing over the controls to raise the shields. "Diva, get us out of here!" Alex commanded. The ship dipped and swerved, narrowly avoiding the incoming missiles. They erupted behind them in bright explosions, but the SS Resolute remained unscathed. "Good maneuvering," shouted Sam, the pilot. "We need to focus on the Dreadnought. It's their flagship." Alex nodded. The Dreadnought was the heart of the enemy fleet, and taking it down could shift the balance of the battle. "Let's focus our fire on the Dreadnought. All ships, attack the flagship!" Mia worked quickly, recalibrating their weapons to maximize their power. "We need to make sure our shots count. This is our best chance!" With a battle cry echoing in their hearts, the human ships surged toward the Dreadnought, launching their missiles and firing lasers in unison. Explosions erupted around the massive ship as their combined firepower hit the target. The Dreadnought shook under the assault, and Admiral Korvac felt anger boiling inside him. "Reinforce the shields! Get those human ships off us!" he roared, trying to regain control. The SS Resolute dodged another volley of fire, its crew working seamlessly together. Alex felt a sense of unity with his fellow pilots, knowing they were fighting for something greater than themselves. They were not just defending their home, they were showing the galaxy that humanity could stand against tyranny. As they pressed the attack, the enemy fleet began to falter. Human ships struck from all directions, their tactics unpredictable. The Imperial warships struggled to keep up with the swarming fighters, and the tide of battle began to shift. "Look, we're making an impact!" Mia exclaimed, excitement in her voice. "Their shields are weakening! Keep firing!" Alex shouted, adrenaline pumping through him. "This is our moment!" With every shot that struck the Dreadnought, hope grew among the human pilots. They knew they were not just defending themselves, they were fighting for freedom. The Empire's oppression would not go unanswered. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the Dreadnought, sending debris flying into space. Alex could hardly believe his eyes. "We're doing it! Keep pushing!" But the battle was far from over. As the Dreadnought began to fall, the remaining Imperial ships rallied, firing back with renewed fury. The human fighters were met with a storm of laser fire, and the crew of the SS Resolute braced themselves. "Stay focused!" Alex called out. "We've come too far to lose now." With the heart of a lion, the crew pushed through the chaos, dodging enemy fire while continuing their assault. They fought with everything they had, determined to seize victory. The Dreadnought began to list to one side, its hull damaged and smoke billowing from various sections. The flagship was losing power, and Admiral Korvac felt the tide slipping from his grasp. He knew he had to act quickly to prevent total defeat. "Focus fire on the humans!" he ordered, desperation creeping into his voice. But the crew of the SS Resolute was relentless. Their spirits soared as they watched the flagship weaken under their attack. As the battle continued to unfold, it became clear that humanity was more than just a simple target. They were a force to be reckoned with, and their fight for freedom was just beginning. With each passing moment, they turned the tide of battle, proving to the galaxy that they would not be crushed. The dawn of a new era was on the horizon, and the human spirit burned bright. The battle had reached its peak, and the space around the SS Resolute was filled with explosions and the sounds of war. The Dreadnought, once the pride of the Galactic Empire, now drifted helplessly, smoke billowing from its damaged hull. Captain Alex Rivers could hardly believe what he saw. They were winning. "Keep the pressure on!" Alex shouted, his voice filled with excitement. "This is our moment!" The crew worked diligently, firing their weapons and dodging enemy fire as they focused on the dreadnought. Each shot they took brought them closer to victory. Around them, the other human ships pressed their attack, working together to overwhelm the remaining Imperial vessels. Mia, her fingers flying over the controls, announced, "Their shields are down. Now's our chance to deal the final blow." Alex's heart raced with anticipation. "Let's finish this," he commanded. The crew cheered as they aimed their weapons at the flagship, ready to strike the final blow. With a brilliant flash of light, the SS Resolute unleashed a powerful volley of energy. The blast struck the dreadnought directly, causing a massive explosion. For a moment, everything stood still. Then the ship erupted in flames, disintegrating in a dazzling display of fire and debris. "Victory!" shouted Sam, raising his fists in triumph. The other human ships erupted in cheers, the sound echoing across the cosmos.